So earlier we talked about how Kenny Omega said, "Oh, could Logan Paul ever wrestle matches in New Japan night in and night out?" No, he couldn't. And I said, "Look, dude, if the Blue Meanie could do it, if the Ultimate Warrior could do it, if guys who have no God-given athletic and charismatic ability could do it, who've done it, right? Like, I don't mean to on some wrestlers that some people might go, no, they were over, but there's a lot of guys who physically aren't as gifted as him and charismatically aren't as gifted as him either, who did it night in and night out. So for you to say that if he wanted to, he could, you mean to tell me he couldn't? And so Kenny Omega speaking facts about Logan Paul here after, well, this was, I believe, a while ago, or maybe this is recently again. I don't remember, or I'm not actually sure when this was posted. Maybe there's a date on the actual stream, but remember when Kenny was talking all that on his streams? I believe this is from then. However, it could be from something recently, and I just don't know. But Kenny Omega talking about Logan Paul after it gets drummed up again, the fact that Logan Paul, who, again, trains closely with Shawn Michaels, steals a lot of Hangman, and that's more evidence to lend to the fact that I think Shawn Michaels hates AEW more than even like Triple H. I think he's more interested in trolling than Triple H is, as MJF finishes Dustin Rhodes with a crippler crossface. Okay. Good heel move. But anyways, Kenny Omega had to say this about Logan Paul. And then we actually have a side-by-side of Logan using all of Hangman's recent moves. Now, Logan also uses Hogan's moves. He also did Ultimate Warrior. He gorilla pressed Rey Mysterio. And then he did the pump up and then the off the rope body splash. You know, so that he's doing Warriors. He's doing everybody, right? And Hangman didn't invent that move. Michael Cole actually shouted out the indie guy. I can't remember his name, but he shouted out the guy who did invent the fall away moonsault slam that everyone was mostly triggered by. But someone actually compiled Logan doing like a bunch of Hangman in this match. And he does it in multiple matches, but it's so evident now. And I think Shawn Michaels and them are trolling. I truly do. But here's what Kenny Omega had to say.
Right there, Logan Paul's a fantastic wrestler. Great. I'm glad you think so, and I'm glad he's able to convince you such a thing. However, Logan Paul walk into New Japan and do a G1 where you have to walk in every
yes, he could
night and have an actual banger. No, he absolutely could not. Is he going to get there between now and
who's his opponent, Kenny? And I know people would be like, well, Kenny would know better. No, I don't think so. He doesn't understand how these WWE guys are being trained. There's a reason Obafemi's as good as he is, and you have Trick is as good as he is. We take it for granted. And all the women are as good as they are. Holy man. The women are all so good. There's a reason for all of that. Okay? And there's a reason Logan got as good as he did. They understand how to like super soldier serum these athletes now and get them ready. It's just clicking. People get it, you know? And people understand the allure of wrestling and what it's all about. And Kenny, I just think that if you were his opponent, it'd be a Meltzer 5-7 star classic. If Kenny Omega and Logan Paul threw down in the G1, Kenny, I believe you would get a Meltzer 5-star match out of him. I believe that. Like, you ain't even giving yourself the benefit, bro. I think, yes, Logan could go do one of those matches if you tasked him with it. And I get it. Those matches at like Wrestle Kingdom, and they don't plan them out. Like, yeah, they call them, but they're not planned out the way like a Logan Paul one-off at Mania might be. And a lot of those Japanese talent, you know, they touch each other on the road, just like WWE guys on the road doing house shows and that. They all get to touch before they go on TV, right? But Logan, he would excel at any sports and entertainment endeavor I think he put himself into. Obviously, I don't mean like he could be in the NBA, but like sports and entertainment. Whether it's those fixed boxing matches or his reality show where he's training for a fight that may or may not be fake, or he's pro wrestling, or he's selling a sports hydration drink. Like, he just excels at this. Yeah, he could go night in and night out. I don't know. I don't know if he could go do what you and Okada were doing night in and night out. Maybe not right now. But yeah, he's a tremendous wrestler. And I just think to say, like, could he go in the G1? And yes, absolutely he could, you know?
I mean, it depends on his commitment.
If Omos can go over to Japan and like look good and, you know, have the crowds freaking out over there and get all the media he did, I don't think Logan Paul is, and that's the other thing, I don't think Logan Paul's allowed in Japan anymore, bruv. But that being said, I definitely think he would excel in Lucha Libre or any system you put him in.
Level. And not only that, but does it matter? No, he's clearly setting his roots down in WWE, and that's where he wants to succeed, and that's where he wants to be a star, and that totally makes sense. So for the WWE style and for what they're willing to do for him, give him time, allow him to grow, develop, and get more used to get more familiar with his surroundings. Take the time to have him.
MJF just threw a beer at a fan, and all I would say is this: if anyone from AEW came up like, "Oh, do you want to come backstage?" I would literally go, "Can I just have like a free beer tab for the night?" He just threw my beer. Can I just have free beer tonight? You know, move me up closer if I wasn't up front. You know, that's all I would ask for. I wouldn't even ask to go back.
Have everything up in here. Make sure that when it comes time to perform what it is that they've rehearsed, what they've scripted, that he'll be able to pull it off as though he just showed up to the arena, like, you know, how the old timers did back in the day. The Terry Taylors and the Terry Funks. I don't know why I picked
the Terry Taylors and the Terry Funks. And he goes, I don't know why I picked two. So
two people that were named Terry, but you know what I mean. It could have been anybody.
Terry Crews.
They're Terry Crews. There you go.
Terry Crews. Oh, shit. Terry Fox, bud. So in relation to the Hangman Logan Paul stuff we were talking about and Kenny's response there to it, or this was his thoughts on Logan Paul before. Here's just a 9-second clip of Logan doing his.
After that collision,
you know, so you watch, there's the moonsault slam. Here's the buckshot. The springboard clothesline. So yeah, he likes to do his I don't know, like drain damagers, like Logan Paul's favorite wrestler 100%, Adam Page. Can't blame him, learning from the best. I think it's Shawn Michaels saying, yo, that's their top guy over there. That's the guy over there. Logan, go do his even better and get his over. And then everyone attributes those moves with you and not him. And because Shawn's being petty and he's got close ties with Logan as far as training him and whatnot. So anyone in the PC, really, he's got his fingerprints all over. So moving along here. So Paul Ellering takes shots at WWE here, and he goes, at WWE, I am tired of the talking heads. Akam and Hazar can, without a doubt, beat any tag team in the business today. Pedigree check, LOD 2.0. So I don't know if maybe I said it would be hilarious if these guys like lost their jobs, got them back, lost their jobs, and then worked their way back into jobs again. That would be hilarious. You know, Paul Ellering still leaving his handle, Paul Ellering WWE, taking a shot at Triple H. I don't know if that's necessary. AOP are Triple H guys. Maybe he has second thoughts on it. Maybe they were quote unquote released and he's going to hook them up. Send all of these three to TNA right now. And then boom, the tag division gets put on notice. And then you have Akam and Razor versus all these flippy lightweight teams. And not to diss TNA, but you have these guys come in and just destroy the tag team division and breathe new life into it. I think that's awesome. Hook them up. WWE can do that because they have a look and size. They're not the greatest wrestlers, but it's not like you can't do something with these two big dudes. They just up and stuck them. The Final Testament, I think, was a bit of a botch. I'm not going to lie. I think overall it just kind of hurt AOP and Ellering a little bit while it elevated Cross and Scarlett, or not even elevated them, but just maintained them. You know what I mean? So anyways, moving along, hope to see them in TNA. Here's a picture of Carlito with John Cena, and Carlito tells CVV, Giga Chad Van Vliet, guys, check out Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Carlito says, apparently I was at the club and he got stabbed. I don't think it was me that stabbed him or my buddy Jesus. You guys remember when that was the storyline? John Cena had to dip out to do the Marine or whatever. So they did the storyline that he was stabbed in the club, or he had to record his album or some shit. And that Jesus guy was in WWE for like no time at all, right? Carlito comes in, wins the US title, whatever, introduces Jesus. And then Jesus like stabs Cena. Then Jesus disappears from wrestling. Where did that guy go? Who was that guy? I don't think it was Jesus, or maybe it was. I don't know. All I know is it wasn't cool. No, it wasn't me. I think somebody at the club did it. Luckily, he made a movie during that time too. So we're lucky he didn't get stabbed that badly. Exactly. Just funny. And funny to see them call back to that. And look at the shape Lito's in still. Jesus Christ. And people are saying, oh, I don't know. Carlito should be worried. No, he's in the Judgment Day and he's not like on obscene money, you know? He's on like a relatively decent contract for who Carlito is and his position in the company. I assure you. Okay, so moving along. Bizarro Babyface tweets out, Meltzer and SRS say Fox is unhappy with WWE. Meltzer and SRS say Fox might sign AEW. Meltzer and SRS never mention a deal for Evolve. Evolve gets a deal with Tubi, which is owned by Fox. Meltzer and SRS pretend all previous reporting never happened. And that's because they're dummies, bro.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, Tubi's owned by Fox, which I didn't know, and it's not called NXT Evolve. It's just WWE Evolve. It's just indie. It's just Evolve is back, but it's WWE. So let's go. I'm going to watch it. It's on Tubi. I'm seeing ads for it already on my Roku stuff. I'm watching the shit out of it when it comes. So let's be honest here, folks. Raj Giri, pardon me. Sorry, Raj Giri. WWE views on Netflix were up from the prior week from last week's post-Royal Rumble episode. So the post-Rumble, we're up from that, folks. We are. Yes. No, I said we are about AEW too. You triggered wackos. No, WWE is up and no one's making a big deal. Raj is they're making a big deal out of Collision over there in Meltzerland. But Raj is the only one really talking about this. Average 3.1 million globally, up 7%. And with 6.1 million hours viewed, down 8%. So less hours viewed, but up in the amount of views, which is good, pal. It ranked number 3 on the top 10 U.S. shows for the week on Netflix and number 7 globally. There you go. Probably was number 1 on that day, number 3 for the week, and 7 globally. It's just going to fluctuate. And I think overall, we're going to see the numbers grow to a normal where like 5 million is going to be normal. Now, I know that's a bold prediction, but that's going to come in a few years. Okay, when we really see, when people understand like, oh, WrestleMania and Rumble and all this just on here, it's going to be game changing. So Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, shout out Busted Open, shout out Bubba Ray. They joined the joined the Ariel Helwani show, and shout out Ariel. So they're talking about John Cena versus Joe Hendry. So let's take a look at this.
And so what do you do with Cody now? Who does he go up against?
He goes up against the winner of the Elimination Chamber.
Who do you think that's going to be?
I could make an argument for Cena.
I love that it goes, we could make arguments for everybody. It's not something obvious. I love that. And even for someone like Bubba, where he's not just throwing out a name, but he's like, I can make arguments. Dude, the Chamber's coming up. That's such a pivotal event for WrestleMania. I can't wait.
CM Punk, and I can make just as strong of an argument for John Cena.
Okay. Who would you like it to be?
From a personal point of view or from a business?
If you guys, here, let me X-Files myself right here. This is what I think it's going to be, okay? Honest to God. I think it's kind of obvious, too. It's going to come down to, like, Punk and Cena in the Chamber, and then, or maybe it doesn't come down to them. Like, maybe Punk gets over somehow, but ultimately Cena's going to win this, and then Punk's going to call in his favor from Heyman. That's going to get him a shot at the title. And we're going to get Cody like reluctantly agreeing to it or something like that. Or because, Cody owes Heyman a bit of a favor, maybe not a favor, but that coming to agreement where Roman and Cody teamed up and Heyman, like it's going to be, his favor is going to be like something that's impossible. And then it's like a triple threat. I could totally see that being the case. Anyways.
This point of view.
Business.
John Cena.
Why?
Because John Cena is known all over the world. If on a scale of 1 to 10, if people know CM Punk, like let's just say an 8 or a 9, they know John Cena's name as a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Cena is known all over the world, whether it's because of movies, because of wrestling,
especially in China,
because of Make-A-Wish, everything that he's done. And to see Cena and Cody, listen, Cody has followed the Cena playbook. If if Cody Rhodes ever wants to become as big as John Cena, he's going to have to beat John Cena. And I love the story of Cena trying to break the record. It's all there. There's a lot of drama there. There's a lot of very honest, real, personal factors that go into this match.
Can I tell you why I disagree?
No.
I would like to see John Cena versus Joe
The correct answer, Bubba.
Hendry.
That's because you listened to Busted Open.
No, because I had Joe Hendry in studio and we had a tremendous chat a week ago, face to face. He flew in just to be on this program.
A couple of days ago, I said that on Busted Open. And as you admitted at the beginning of your show, when you're driving your kids to school, you listen every day. And much like everybody else who steals my ideas in this business, you just stole that one.
He literally.
I never listen to Busted Open other than the clips on the show, just being honest, but I always listen to the Ariel Helwani show.
He said, I am going to manifest this. In my studio, he skipped the Jericho cruise to come here instead because he knew this was...
Yeah, see, Helwani, he skipped the Jericho cruise, calls it out. And I love that because that's what it was, even though Hendry's trying to be nice. Well, there was a visa issue, and because from the Rumble, I thought, hey, I'll go on Ariel. Yeah, good thing he dodged that Titanic of a mess.
It was the #1 combat sports show in the biz.
All right, Ariel, since you're not in front of me and I can't mafia kick you in the face, listen, I love the idea, not only because I came up with it, and I'll give you the little backstory.
Okay.
When CM
Listen, Hendry and Cena has to go down. Is that a Mania match? I don't know. It's got to be for the TNA World title, right? Unless Hendry drops it before, but then it kind of loses a bit of that luster, right? But you could still do the match. Like, we'd all still be into it, but him as champion makes it make more sense because Cena wants his world title, and Cena could say, well, Flair didn't win all of his title. Like, it's still a world title. That's still a title held by Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett, whoever you want to name, Sting, right? All the names you want to name. So it's a prestigious enough belt, I guess, if you break it down, right? And Cena could cut that promo. If anyone could get it over, it could be him. But here's the thing, though. Cena wins the TNA title. Then what? He drops the belt on a TNA show. Do you know how much money they'd have to pay him? Like, that doesn't make sense. He'd have to lose to Hendry. Now, is that the move? Or do they do that match? Do they wait a long time, like right before Hendry comes into WWE? Because, okay, Hendry's deal is done at the end of the regular year. Cena's done at the end of the regular year. They let Jordynne Grace out of her contract early by like 2 weeks or whatever, so she could be in the WWE in the Royal Rumble full-time, full-fledged on a contract, right? TNA did. So did they let Hendry go a little bit early and they have him drop the title before, and then he goes and loses to Cena, or he beats Cena, and then because then he could beat Cena. But it can't be Hendry defends his TNA title against Cena on TNA or on a WWE show. You could not. WWE would never do that. That's like some AEW. You know what I mean? That's like the IWGP champion coming over and defending their belt.
Before CM Punk went to AEW, right? I thought that CM Punk could mean more to the wrestling business if he went back to Ring of Honor. Like the way me and Devon went back to help ECW that one night, or how Taz went back to help ECW that one night. Punk going back to Ring of Honor could have helped the health of the entire business. That's why I think Cena challenging Hendry for the World Championship.
I agree with Bubba, but I disagree. Ring of Honor should have been their NXT, where randomly, Punk goes down and does like a tour in there, like a run with someone down there or something. And you use it to rotate all these big stars that you're bringing in constantly. You use it as like a system where you're kind of developing guys, but you're doing the indie-rific stuff. And then you go like mainstream and sports-oriented with Dynamite in that. But Tony didn't have that vision. He just wants to do ROH stuff on Dynamite, on AEW. He just wants to do New Japan on Dynamite.
Could help the health of the entire business. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But would I be on board if it did happen? Absolutely. Breathing life into TNA that nobody ever thought could possibly happen. And that's why I like it. I'm a big fan of shock and awe in the wrestling business, and that would be quite shocking.
I agree, but semi-disagree.
And so what do you do